Controversial land reforms in South Africa are raising tensions as the nation's white minority arms themselves to defend their farms against government seizures. One America's Christian Rhodes has a story.
White South Africans are arming themselves to defend their properties in the wake of the land reform advanced by the black majority government of African National Congress, or ANC. This comes amidst a tidal wave of farm murders aimed against white landowners in the Rainbow Nation, and Afrikaners claim the government's inaction on violent crime and the planned expropriations fall in line with the ANC's far-left policies of white genocide.
When you leave home, you can feel the animosity. It's like if you walk down the street, you can feel it's like your skin color depicts who you are, not your soul.
This comes as the ANC is seeking to seize Afrikaner properties in both rural and urban areas. Most recently, ANC leaders, including South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa, reaffirmed their commitments to the land and property expropriations at a so-called land summit in Boksburg, Gauteng. The upcoming reform is simple. If you are white in South Africa and you own land, a farm or a city home, the government will take it away with no compensation for the sake of greater social justice.
Without the redistribution of land, we will not be able to build a united South Africa. Without the recognition of the property rights of all our people, we will not overcome inequality.
Meantime, South Africa's streets are mired in violent clashes between the police and the country's black majority, who demand the land expropriation reform advance faster. Left-wing radicals claim European settlers stole their land hundreds of years ago. The ANC has claimed the lion's share of land in South Africa is owned by the white minority.
Main reasons, or three main methods in which white people acquired land in South Africa. The first was that there were, in fact, empty pieces of land in South Africa, and the second was negotiations and treaties. And the third way, which is the most controversial, is the way the acquiring land by way of conquest. And that is something that has happened.
The South African Parliament has voted in favour of new legislation that could see land seized from white farmers. Under the plans, white farmers would be stripped of their land with no compensation, although this does run against the Constitution, which would have to be amended. Here's what the man behind the initiative had to say about it.
The time for reconciliation is over. Now is the time for justice. We must ensure that we restore the dignity of our people without compensating the criminals who stole our land.
Julius Malema there is something of a controversial figure in South Africa. He has been convicted of hate speech, and back in 2016 he said he was not calling for the slaughter of white people, at least not yet. Despite that, though, the country's former president, Jacob Zuma, has described him as a future leader. The rate of murders and violent attacks on farmers and landowners has risen in recent years, and according to official figures, 72% of the country's farmers are white. Earlier, we put the issue up for debate.
People do not own land in South Africa legally. White people arrived here from Europe in 1652. They killed our people, they stole our land, they oppressed us. All the land they have is land that was taken from us by force and in many instances by massacres. A person like the one who is now my opponent is a foreigner in South Africa and a land thief. And in fact, talking about the Khoisan, I am Khoisan. He can't say my surname, Mngitama. Ask him to say it. He doesn't. He can't because he's a foreigner. I even worried that Parliament is moving slow and politicians, we don't trust them. They are using this land thing as a political ball instead of addressing the issue.
This legislation could actually be changed to satisfy the white farmers as well?
We have to do critical thinking, but the mass media sets up to make us do emotional thinking. How in the world are you not locking people up for war crimes and we got all that dead? Centuries of dead. That's right. Centuries of rape. The slaughter of children in Soweto. Sharpsville. And on in every burrow and every crack and crevice. In our land they raped and destroyed us. And you tell me they can stay there? What positive do they bring to the party? If you're going to stay there, what is it positive that they bring to the party? Death and murder and money. They hook up to the monetary system.
The worldwide In my opinion, the young generation of white, black, brown, whatever else there is, you're living at a time of extremism, a time of revolution.
What is it revolting against? The power structure. The American power structure? No. The French power structure? No. The English power structure? No. Then what power structure? An international Western power structure.
And I, for one, will join in with anyone, don't care what color you are, as long as you want to change this miserable condition that exists on this earth. There's got to be a change. People in power have misused it, and now there has to be a change, and a better world has to be built, and the only way it's going to be built is with extreme methods.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us.
Once those intentions are made known, we can get to the nitty-gritty of the problem. We can get to the core of the problem. We can get to the root of the problem. And then we can correct the problem.
Black man kingdom come override, and the white man kingdom follow for right. Oh, the black man kingdom come, and the white man kingdom follow for right.
Wisdom and knowledge left college. Wisdom went east to a black feast. Knowledge went west in conquest. Technology became life's test. Wisdom hid because of what knowledge did. Hid away till judgment day. Knowledge moved on as far as the moon, cracked the earth and took its word, stole men from life, messed up air, poison everywhere. Creative knowledge without wisdom flourished, and bigger bombs were made and dropped on have-nots. Birth control became a goal. Knowledgeable monsters gained control. Souls were stole for mere gold. Technique was in the minds of mankind, floating in wine, sailing through life in a therapeutic way, learning new technical tricks. Life slowly sliding away. Books, not feeling, was man's thing. Man checked a book on how to cook, took his life to a site, into a book he would look to label your brain schizoid, paranoid, or some other technical jive that make you look at you and not he. Remember, my brothers and sisters, what I say to you, for life has showed me all this pain, labeled an evil thing. But raise your black heads high, because knowledge without wisdom will die. Wisdom hid because of what knowledge did. Hid away till judgment day. Judgment day. Judgment day. And that ain't far away.